Hello everyone, this is In The End. On this channel, I talk about anime and recommend you all awesome anime to watch, which includes today's video. I'll be talking about Rising of the Shield Hero. And season 2 had just started airing, so I want to convince you all to give the show a watch. I remember when I first heard of this anime was through a stupid Instagram video where I saw this raccoon girl doing this cute face, and immediately I knew I had to watch this show because that was too damn adorable. And little did I know that I'll be stumbling upon one of my favorite fantasy anime that I have seen in the past few years. I mean, once I saw this lolly turn into a giant chicken to beat up some zombies, I knew I was in for something really good. Alright, first, let's talk about the premise, which is nothing new. You have heard of this premise a dozen times. The typical trope of a boy or girl being teleported or reincarnated into a magical fantasy world that is super based off of RPGs and other trendy video games. And usually the ones that I've seen end up being really good because they end up doing something different or having a specific twist that makes them unique. And Rising of the Shield Hero feels very refreshing compared to all the other ones. So let's get straight to the plot. Our main character is Naofumi Iwatani, your average college student who one day reads a book in a library and gets teleported into another world. So yeah, kids, if there's something you should take away from this is don't read books, or don't go to libraries, or I guess Japanese libraries. Anyway, our boy is summoned into another world where he is told that he is a legendary hero and needs to help protect their world. Also, 3 other Japanese teenagers get summoned along with him, and they are all called the Cardinal Heroes. And each one possesses a unique weapon, like one has a bow, the other one has a sword, and the other one has a spear. But Naofumi is stuck with a shield, and he is sort of teased and looked down upon because of having a quote-unquote lame weapon. Okay, so right off the bat, the most unrealistic thing about this series is that clearly none of these characters came from a world where Captain America existed, or else they wouldn't be trashing on the shield. So, these other kids are clueless about how awesome the shield is. Hell, let's also talk about them right away. These 3 dudes are literally the most uninteresting characters in the whole show, and thankfully they don't get that much focus.
Out of the way, you!
And though the plot is really well executed, the show does a better job of convincing you to care more for the 2 main characters that are Naofumi and Raphtalia. Alright, before I talk about these 2, let me state that I believe the first 4 episodes are perfect. The first 4 episodes are so perfect in exposition that I don't want to spoil it right away, so I'm going to put a warning sign right here and the number right here so you can skip the video. No, well, not the video, I mean this part of the video, okay? Please don't skip the video. Here we go. Naofumi gets framed for something that he didn't do, which was molest one of his party members, and without giving any chance to explain himself, he is immediately considered guilty and loses all his money and trust from everybody. And thus he is alone from the very start. And it's all thanks to this girl, the anime version of Joffrey from Game of Thrones, because I'm sorry, I'm having PTSD thinking about her, how much I hated her when I first saw her. Alright. Anyway, with everything that's happened, this world sucks.
What kind of place is this?
So, Naofumi has no choice but to pretty much buy a slave, and he finds a raccoon girl. Yes, a raccoon girl. And her name is Raphtalia. And the both of them form a bond, and this is where the show really kicks off. Okay, so like I said, the show does a great job of connecting the viewers with the main characters, who are 2 amazingly well-written protagonists that any anime could ask for. Alright, let's start with Naofumi. Usually, I don't like to talk about the male character that much, just because they're not really that interesting compared to the other characters, and they do their job fine as the main character, but that's really it. But Naofumi is an amazing main protagonist. He is a hardcore badass, and even though he can be nice, he also comes off as a bit of an asshole, but you do understand why. Given his title of the Shield Hero in the world that he is in, he knows how tough it can be to earn money. And like I said, the viewers know exactly why you want to care for him or root for him. Alright, that aside, let's go ahead and talk about Raphtalia, okay? there is no reason why you should not love Raftalia. If you don't like Raftalia, then you have no soul. But all jokes aside, just like Naofumi, she is also an amazing character. Also, I need to address that she starts off as a little kid, but because she's a demi-human, she ages quickly in a span of an episode. Just something to bring up in case you find it weird, but it's handled really well. Anyway, Raftalia is super sweet and caring, but is also really strong and can put up a fight. She is cute and adorable, but can be ruthless and tough when she needs to be. And just like Naofumi, you understand where she came from as well. You don't get her whole backstory right away, but you immediately will connect to her. And you also care about their relationship. You want to see them help each other out and protect each other. And their chemistry is just genuine and realistic. So in my opinion, if your main characters are likable or at the very least relatable, then your story is already in the right direction. And these two main characters already exceed expectations. And thankfully, the rest of the series still delivers everywhere else. Being a fantasy show, it does have action in all the right moments, and the action is great because it's easy to understand what's going on and what is at stake. But some of the slower episodes are just as entertaining because the world is actually really thought out, and it is also fun to meet some of the side characters that can have really colorful personalities. But like I said, if you are here for the action, then don't worry, Shield Hero does deliver. And there are also some use of CGI, but it is used for specific things like huge monsters and other scenarios that would be harder to do in 2D, so it's not too distracting. But let's talk about some real criticisms, though some of them are not really a big deal after rewatching the whole series again. Some episodes may seem pointless, and that is only because I was watching the show when it was first airing, so some of those episodes would be disappointing to look forward to each week. But after binge watching the whole show again, those episodes felt way more rewarding, because there are actually no filler episodes. Each episode is important in some way, whether it introduces a new character or a very specific plot point that's important. And there were some characters that did get on my nerves, specifically these three again, but it kind of felt like they were intentionally written to be annoying, so I am glad that they were never given that much focus. But the one character that I definitely had mixed feelings towards was Philo.
What the fuck?
Okay, let me just say, before you start pulling out your pitchforks and all, I like Philo now, and she has definitely grown on me, but her character got me really worried for a bit. I felt like Shield Hero was doing a great job of being a very unique series that didn't have to rely on typical anime tropes. Like, you can joke that Raftalia is a furry, but she is more than just that. But then Philo came into the scene, and she uttered these words. And from that point on, I was worried.
FBI, open up!
Not again! Sorry, there were some technical difficulties. Anyway. And from that point on, I was worried that the show was going to turn into another harem anime where Philo and Raftalia and any other girls coming in would fight over Naofumi's attention, and it'd be really stupid. But thankfully, the show feels way more smart, and it does not go down that route. The other major criticism I have is that it really felt like the whole series sort of overstayed its welcome. It just kind of felt like the whole season should have ended a few episodes earlier. But if you're able to hang in there to the very end, then the whole first season is an absolute fun ride that is still worth checking out. As of right now, you can watch Rising of the Shield Hero on Crunchyroll, where the Japanese and the English dubs are available. And you can also watch it on Funimation for the time being. Thank you so much again for watching. I hope you saw my entire review, and I also hope that I convinced you to give Rising of the Shield Hero a chance, because it is a really good show. If you like my video, if you like what I did, please like and subscribe so you can see more content from me, and I'll make sure to be posting more reviews as soon as possible. For now, have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.